I have here is the Zimaboard 2, which packs in an Intel N150, has two SATA 3.0 connectors with power supply, a PCI Express expansion slot, two USB 3.1 ports and dual 2.5 gigabit networking capabilities. Now this device came in this neat looking box and the unpacking experience felt pretty premium with these two eco-friendly boxes, one for the Zima board and one for the accessories that came with it. Now on opening this, you get a nice note from the founder, and then finally we have the Zima board 2, which has this nice aluminum casing for passive heat dissipation while only exposing the required ports like USB, Ethernet, PCI Express slot and the SATA connectors for your hard drives. You can also tilt the box and hold the Zima board along with the two SSDs if you have any, which today have nearly tripled in price. Now in the accessories box, you get this fan if you want some active cooling, a 12 volt 5 ampere power supply, a few adapters depending on the country that you're in, a pair of screwdrivers and a SATA data and power supply cable. Now for the entire NAS setup, you can buy this 2-bay aluminum rack that is pretty solid and sturdy to hold two hard disk drives. Along with it, you get this PCI Express expansion cable and the screws to hold the hard disks. Now after unboxing, I wanted to see the internals of the Zima board to see the various components on the PCB. I removed the screws and the back plate and removed the other screws holding the PCB, and on lifting it, here we can see both the sides of the PCB. On cleaning the heatsink paste, we see that this board is powered by an LPDDR5 RAM and an Intel N150 CPU. It has two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, two USB 3.1, a mini display port, a DC barrel connector, two SATA 3.0 ports and 12 volt power connector for the hard drives. I then assembled the board back again and then connected the CPU fan to the CPU connector, placed the back panel and mounted the hard disk rack and fixed it to the back panel with the screws. Then I mounted the CPU fan to the Zima board, and then finally this is how the whole thing looks like with the 2-bay rack and the Zima board attached to it. I bought these two 2TB Iron Wolf NAS drives and mounted them on the rack using the screws provided with the rack. I then connected the SATA and the power supply cables to the drives, and this is how the whole setup looks like. Additionally, you can connect this PCI Express to NVMe expansion card using this cable to the PCI Express 3.0 connectors to have additional storage capabilities for this NAS setup. Now, after powering up the device and on accessing the device IP, I was able to set up the device for the first time, and after that, you get to see this dashboard. Now, here I could see two hard drives being detected, and I continued to set up the storage here. Now, setting up the RAID level was pretty easy as following the steps here, and then after selecting the RAID level, it shows you some extra information like how much capacity will be available. Then I selected the two drives and gave it a storage name, and with this I was able to easily set up my storage with RAID 1 level, and using the File Explorer application I was able to access the data on this new storage. Then you can share this storage space with other users by creating sub accounts for these users, then selecting a folder that the user can access and create a username and password to access this storage space. Another application I really liked was this peer drop application, wherein you could transfer files from one device to another. Like here I am connecting to the device via the web browser from my mobile phone, and on selecting the device where I want to transfer the file to, I was able to send the file to the target machine, and then on the target machine I was able to download the file. Then we have this Zima virtual machine application with which you can create virtual machines to run different operating systems on it. Like here I started the installation of Windows 11, and on completing the installation I was able to access Windows via the browser. Another application that is useful is this backup application, wherein you can set up your 3-2-1 backup strategies with ease. Like here I select the source, that is in this case the RAID 1 NAS that we just created, and then selected the destination, which can be another NAS device that can be connected via Samba services or cloud services like Google Drive, Dropbox and OneDrive. Now here for demonstration, I'm just selecting a local storage for now, and then you can add additional destinations to set up multiple backup locations to back up your data. Then you have this app store from where you can install a bunch of applications, like you can install Home Assistant, VPN services like Tailscale, and much more. Now just keep this in mind that it will run all these applications as Docker containers, and you can specify your own custom Docker Compose definitions also. Now my overall experience was pretty good, as it was simple to set up the NAS and also install other applications on the Zima board via the App Store. So the combination of the Zima OS and the hardware capabilities make it an ultimate DIY NAS device in my opinion. Now in terms of the transfer speeds, I was able to get about 275 to 280 megabytes per second by directly accessing the NAS using the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. When I connected SSD drives and the NVMe via the PCI Express connector, I got similar performance of about 275 to 280 megabytes per second, which is pretty much in line with what a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection can provide. Now in terms of power consumption, this device was consuming about 11 to 13 watts at idle with the two hard drives connected to it, while during the transfer tests, the consumption went to about 26 watts of energy usage. So with all this, if you are looking for a DIY NAS that you can set up by yourself, have a NAS running with the ease of installing apps, virtual machines, and set up backups with just a few clicks, then this Zimaboard 2 NAS kit is the device to go for. Now apart from just using this Zimaboard 2 as a NAS device, I'll be putting it through its paces and run some benchmarking tests to see how it all performs. So subscribe to the channel to see that video when it is out. Now in terms of pricing, this device costs about $280 for the 8GB RAM variant with 32GB eMMC storage, while the 16GB RAM variant with 64GB eMMC storage, it costs about $350. Now there are always some kind of offers that are available on the site that you can opt for. Now if you like to see such videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as hit that like button for more such videos to come. You can also support this channel via Patreon, or you could just buy me a coffee. Till then, take care, and I'll see you in my next one.